The Souls-like genre has been evolving quickly. New mechanics, new settings, and new styles of play. Among the latest games, I've picked 7 that really stand out. Each one takes the classic Souls-like formula and reshapes it with its own world, style, and ideas. The first Berserker, Khazan, is one of the most interesting new entries in the genre. The story is simple. You play as General Khazan, betrayed and accused of treason, now fighting his way back through a world full of enemies. What makes Khazan stand out is the combat style. While most Souls-like games reward patience and waiting for the perfect opening, this one pushes you to stay aggressive. The system is built around fast combos, precise parries, and a special reflect mechanic, a perfectly timed counter that can turn a deadly attack back on your enemy. There are 3 main weapon types: fast dual blades, a heavy greatsword, and a balanced spear. Each one completely changes how you approach fights, which makes experimenting with builds genuinely rewarding. Visually, the game uses a cel-shaded style that gives it an anime-inspired look and makes it instantly recognizable. Boss fights are the highlight, each one designed as a unique challenge, with attacks that feel weighty and impactful. Of course, there are some downsides. The story isn't very deep, some areas reuse enemies a bit too often, and the PC version can run into minor performance hiccups. But according to players, these issues are small compared to the positives, and many note that the game runs smoothly even on mid-range hardware. Khazan is a great pick if you enjoy a faster, more offensive style of play, or if you're looking for a Souls-like that feels a little different from Elden Ring's rhythm. Personally, I really enjoyed this one. It's well designed, perfectly executed, and I can recommend it without hesitation. Wuchang, Fallen Feathers, takes us to late Ming Dynasty China, blending dark fantasy with historical inspiration. You play as Bai Wuchang, a young woman cursed with the feathering disease, a sickness that causes strange supernatural effects. The world around her's just as twisted, filled with haunted villages, corrupted temples, and creatures from folklore. The game's most distinctive feature is the Madness system, which pushes you toward aggressive play at the cost of becoming more fragile. Combined with the Skyborn Might mechanic, where combat fuels your abilities, the game encourages you to stay on the offensive instead of playing it safe. Visually, Wuchang captures a mysterious vision of China, misty forests, forgotten villages, and bosses with striking designs that feel pulled straight out of legend. The atmosphere is top-notch, but it comes at a price. The game can be demanding on hardware, with players reporting dips, stuttering, and occasional crashes, though patches have helped somewhat. Even so, the variety of builds, multiple endings, and tense combat make this a strong recommendation for Souls-like fans. Just be prepared for a few rough technical edges. Remnant 2 takes the Souls-like formula and flips it on its head. Instead of swords and shields, your main weapons are guns. It's still tough, it's still punishing, but the pace is faster and teamwork matters even more. What makes it shine is the procedural generation. Entire levels, dungeons, bosses, even storylines can change between playthroughs. No 2 runs are exactly alike, which makes the game incredibly replayable. On top of that, the archetype system lets you mix and match classes: healer, demolitions expert, handler with a loyal dog, and many more. The combinations are endless. The gunplay feels great. Every weapon has weight, from assault rifles to sci-fi guns that create black holes. Bosses are creative, multi-phase fights that test your aim, movement, and teamwork if you're playing in co-op. The worlds themselves are varied and beautiful. Ruined cities, alien landscapes, nightmarish forests. The sound design is just as strong, making every encounter feel tense. Performance impressions vary. Some players mention stutters or drops, but in my case the game ran smoothly, even on slightly outdated gaming hardware. Either way, the gameplay is strong enough to carry it. If you enjoy the tension and dangers of classic Souls-like games, but want more action and modern weapons, this one is for you. Personally, I really like it and play it with great enjoyment. Lords of the Fallen is a name we've heard before, first in 2014, then again in 2023 with a full reboot, but the real reason it's on this list is version 2.0, released in 2025, which overhauled the game and finally gave it the polish it needed. Its most distinctive feature is the dual-world system. You move between Axiom, the realm of the living, and Umbral, the twisted world of the dead. Die in Axiom, and you're pulled into Umbral, where enemies are more dangerous, but hidden paths and secrets await. The two worlds mirror each other, and the constant shift adds tension to every step. At the heart of it all is the Umbral Lamp. You use it to reveal hidden platforms, uncover enemies, and open new routes. It's not just a gimmick, it makes exploration feel layered and rewarding, almost like peeling back two versions of the same reality. Combat is fast, fluid, and responsive. Melee, ranged, and magic all blend together smoothly, and the parry system rewards precision without feeling frustrating. Boss fights are brutal, with creative designs and mechanics that test your timing and patience. Visually, the game is stunning. Gothic castles, eerie swamps, decaying catacombs, all powered by Unreal Engine 5. Umbral adds an extra layer of grotesque beauty, turning familiar places into haunting nightmares. Performance at launch had issues, but most players agree that version 2.0 fixed the worst of it. It still demands good hardware, but the experience feels far more stable now. If you're looking for a Souls-like that respects the classic formula while doing something new, Lords of the Fallen is absolutely worth checking out. Next up is Flintlock: The Siege of Dawn, a game that aims to refresh the Souls-like formula with speed, gunplay, and accessibility. It mixes melee combat, firearms, and magic into a dynamic system where your fox god companion Enki helps with curses and magical attacks. What sets Flintlock apart is its accessibility. There's no stamina bar, you can respec easily, and you're free to choose your difficulty. These features break from the traditional Souls-like mold, and while they might not appeal to hardcore veterans, they make the game far easier to get into, especially for newcomers to the genre. Still, the experience isn't flawless. Some quests feel underdeveloped, and a few sections drag. The world is visually appealing, but not always as deep or memorable as you'd hope. And while the gun and magic combat is fun, it doesn't always hit the level of refinement seen in top-tier action RPGs. Even so, Flintlock is a solid choice if you're after a more accessible, less punishing Souls-like with fast action and some fresh ideas. It may not redefine the genre, but it definitely opens the door to more people discovering it. What do you think? Does this kind of approach appeal to you, or do you prefer your Souls-likes to stay pure and punishing? Let me know in the comments. Lies of P takes the story of Pinocchio and twists it into a dark, gothic nightmare. Set in the city of Krat, where puppets have rebelled against their creators, it's as atmospheric as it is brutal. Combat is built around tight parry mechanics, with timing even stricter than in Sekiro. Not gonna lie, the parry system beat me more than I beat it. But I've seen what skilled players can do with it, and it's impressive. On top of that, the weapon assembly system lets you combine blades and handles to create your own movesets. Add in the Legion arm prosthetics and the P-organ upgrade system, and you've got huge room for customization. Visually, it's gorgeous, inspired by Belle Epoque Europe, with a style somewhere between Bloodborne and steampunk. The soundtrack is equally strong, with orchestral themes and haunting gramophone records you can collect. According to players, performance is solid across the board, even on mid-range PCs. That polish is rare in this genre and makes a big difference. Some bosses can feel unfair, with delayed attack patterns or overwhelming adds, and the durability system can be frustrating. But overall, Lies of P is considered one of the best non-From Software Souls-likes so far. Personally, it didn't grab me the way it did others, but I can see why it's so well loved. Are you in the love it camp, or are you somewhere in the middle, like me? Coming up next, a game so beautiful it'll melt your eyes, and maybe your GPU too. Breathtaking visuals, brutal battles, and a philosophy of patience and precision. Black Myth: Wukong is both a masterpiece and a trial. Every battle demands focus, timing, and discipline. There are no easy victories here. But Wukong isn't just a master of martial arts, he also wields powerful magic. He can transform into animals, objects, even summon shadow clones. These abilities aren't just for show. They shape the way you fight, solve puzzles, and survive in this unforgiving world. And that world, it's stunning. Black Myth: Wukong might be the most beautiful game we've seen in years. Misty mountains, forgotten temples, dreamlike spirit realms. Everything looks like a living painting. The detail is incredible, from the cracks in ancient stone to the fur of mythical beasts. And the soundtrack, blending traditional Chinese instruments with sweeping orchestration, makes every moment feel like legend. But here's the catch. The game doesn't hold your hand. There is a map, but it offers little guidance. In these labyrinthine look-alike levels, confusion is part of the journey. Frame rate drops can still hit during intense moments, and the game itself demands powerful hardware to run at its best. And those spectacular boss fights? They can be brutal, and at times repetitive, a weakness common to many Souls-like games. At its core, this is a game built around endurance, a chain of massive, punishing battles where your only way forward is patience, precision, and persistence. For some, it's an inspiring challenge. For others, it's simply too much. So yes, Black Myth: Wukong is beautiful, cruel, and unforgettable. The real question is, do you have the patience to see it through? So, those are 7 fresh Souls-like games that prove the genre keeps evolving. Let me know in the comments which one caught your eye, or if I missed a favorite of yours. Thanks for watching. And hey, if you forgot to hit like, now's the perfect time. It really helps get the video out to more players. Subscribe for more stories from the world of games.